Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another day of Valorant. My name is Gompers, and I'm joined here by Marks. I believe it's this way that I'm supposed to be pointing, but I'm super excited. Listen, we had a very long off season, and now I'm just super excited to get back into it into day 2 of Challengers, Marks.
Yeah, I mean, this is where things start to get really interesting for this. Obviously, if you've been following the circuit, the top 3 teams here are actually going to be able to qualify to get into Challengers. And so a lot of these teams are coming into this bracket. They're bringing their A game. They want to make it. And now we move into our double elimination bracket, starting things out in the round of 32. 32 teams are in here. Only 3 can advance. So you know that everyone is going to be a little bit nervous.
Oh, I'm nervous. I mean, listen, I feel like it's been a while, right, to be broadcasted. Now you're coming into this and like the stakes are high. You really want to make it, out of this open qualifier spot. So at the end of the day, yes, there is something that you're working towards, but I know everybody's excited to get back into it, into the competitive season and just overall enjoy themselves, right? Finding new teams, finding new rosters. And that's the whole point of it, is to find that new synergy and bring it up into this moment.
Yeah, and it's crazy too, because if you think about it, like some of these teams, they're starting things out right now, might be completely unknown, but by the end of the run, they could be on the international stage if everything kind of works out well for them. And so obviously this is going to be an extremely exciting tournament. And quite frankly, if you look at some of the teams that are kind of coming into this one, I mean, you're gonna recognize some of these names right off the bat. Maybe a little bit of a Shopify Rebellion, or if we go a little bit onto the more niche side of things, we've got Core, YFP, Zero Marksman Black, and actually even the St. Clair Saints have entered into this tournament, which previously had won the Red Bull Campus Clutch Canada. And so there's quite a bit of talent coming into this.
Yep, and let's not forget, we talked a bit about that 32-team bracket, and this is pretty much what we're looking at. There are lots of teams here that we're pretty familiar with. I know there's V1, right? I mean, my apologies, Shopify. Whoa, I'm going to get canceled. I'm going to get canceled, but Shopify Rebellion we got here.
What year is it?
I know, we're like going all the way back into the beginning, but yeah, Shopify Rebellion, right? Obviously, Core. Lots of teams here that we're pretty familiar with, Marks.
Yeah, and once again, just to reinforce that this is a double elimination bracket at this point. Every single round is going to be a best of 3, but of course with the double elimination bracket, that does mean that you will have another chance if something goes a little bit awry. Things don't quite work out in your favor one round. That's okay. You still have a chance to move up through that losers bracket to make sure that you guarantee your spot in Challengers. And on top of that too, it's not do or die. And so this is it lends to the format to make it a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, and competition starting off pretty harsh here. Especially, I think these are honestly, with the matchmaking that we have so far, I think it's looking pretty good. Obviously, the first match we're going to get into very, very shortly as to who we're going to be watching, but that is going to be Shopify Rebellion versus Let Us Cook. And cook they shall. Listen, Marks, I saw on Let Us Cook's Twitter, and it was actually, I believe it was Bancroft tweeted. They said that they're going to be dry swinging a lot today. So that's something I'm excited for. Let's just talk about that for a bit.
I mean, like... I don't think that there is really much else to say if you're just going to be dry swinging. Hey, man, you do you see how it works out. And if you end up winning based on that strategy, then I think I'm going to have to go back and do a lot more studying on Valorant strategy, because everything that I know must be a lie. But this matchup is going to be a very, very, very fun one. I mean, obviously, if you're coming into this, you kind of know a little bit about the Shopify Rebellion roster. I mean, they won Game Changers last year, and they just finished up the other tournament, qualifying for the main event yet again. And so they're pretty much on a hot streak, and they're playing to win right now. I mean, they're not coming in here and just being like, yes, just another tournament. No, like, they're going to be bringing their A game. And so Let Us Cook. I mean, dry swing as much as you want, but they're going to have to really push back if they want to make sure that they can get some ground on Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, I think too, right? The talking point of Shopify Rebellion, who is this team? If you're not familiar yet, this team is dominant as you can get, right? Reigning Game Changers champs, whether it be under the name of Mel and Alexis under C9, constantly being reigning champions, as well as just overall being a great team, actually coming out of Open Qualifiers in Game Changers to this moment to be able to play. But of course, we have maps ready to be able to see for you guys if you guys are interested in that. So obviously picks and bans setting in Sunset, Breeze, Split, and Icebox gone.
Yeah, and that is going to leave things off with Lotus, Bind, and Ascent. And quite frankly, I'm a little bit surprised that Bind is being brought out onto the kind of playing field here. I feel like a lot of teams have kind of edged away from Bind lately, but maybe this has to do something with the fact that Haven is no longer in the play. You know that Shopify Rebellion, they probably really wanted Haven to be able to be played at all times, but right, just kind of remove that from Do coaches say hallelujah? That's a new one. I don't really necessarily listen into a lot of Valorant coach comms, but hey, if that's what they're saying to hype up their squad, then more power to you guys.
Hey, exactly. Probably not the best coach in the world, but at the same time, that's why I'm not coaching. So.
Yeah, instead they stuck you on the desk. It's funny how that kind of works out there. But okay, so while once again we're getting these agent selects ready to go, just to comment a little bit on Shopify Rebellion's usual lineup when it comes to Lotus. Lately we've seen a little bit more of just that double controller kind of coming into there. And I think that kind of just makes a little bit more sense, especially too with how Lotus is structured. Being able to use those smokes, cut down some of these angles, play a little bit more cautiously, as opposed to kind of the let's just kick it into high gear style that Let Us Cook might be coming in with that double duelist. Obviously, when it comes to smokes on a map like Lotus 2, where kind of like you said, there's a lot going on, there's multiple angles, 3 whole sites, kind of moving towards the controller meta for me seems to make a little bit more sense. You're able to smoke things off, toss out a couple of fakes, keep your opponents guessing more or less, and that is something that Shopify is extremely good at doing.
Yeah, they do have that double controller composition that they've been testing out a little bit alongside that Fade. I do see the Viper and the Omen there. So if that is following through what they want on Lotus, what their meta is going to start to look like, I do think that will be such a good counter under the circumstance that we do see, obviously, who's on what side and what's going on. So for Lotus in particular, again, kind of an uneasy map, in my opinion, to see what's going on. I mean, every time they've played it for Shopify, they've only lost once, and that game was pretty close indeed. So they're pretty skilled when it comes to, kind of reading their opponents and reading what's going on the map. But again, Let Us Cook. This is kind of like that really big showing for them, I feel like, to prove that they have the capability to move forward. And again, it really is up to what they're deciding in a moment like this one. What could work, what couldn't? If they did do those VOD reviews that they talked about, is that something that's going to really come into play here and say, you know what, we've watched Shopify play this map of Lotus. Yep. Maybe we can try it for something a little bit different that could honestly help us and take that advantage.
And you actually raised an excellent point there. Given the fact that Shopify is kind of this seasoned roster, there's a lot of VODs out there. And so any teams that can kind of go up, they have an idea about, what some of these strategies are, what some of the plays are going to be. And sure, I mean, obviously gunplay, it's Valorant, pew pew, you got to make sure to find your kills and then you win rounds. But just having a fundamental idea at where some of these players might be hanging out, where some of the utility is going on, little signs as to what the play might be, that could really help out Let Us Cook. And of course, too, one thing I'm actually interested in, I'm just going to toss this out there, see if it materializes into the world, but Gecko. Because lately, with a lot of the changes that have been going on in Valorant, Sky is not looking as viable. And I think that actually the buffs that Gecko has received, I think during this tournament, we're going to be seeing a little bit more Gecko play coming in. You can just, listen, before you had to hang out by Dizzy for a little bit, be like, all right, buddy, I'm going to pick you up. Now you just press that button and it's like, oh, Bandy, we're ready to go. Let's toss you right back out there. So I do think we might be seeing a little bit more Gecko played in this tournament.
I do like the idea of Gecko being played a little more in the tournament. Obviously, like you said, it's been something that people have been toying around with, which I think is pretty nice. At first, originally, Gecko was not looking too hot. I'm not going to lie to you. It was like that Yoru moment where Yoru came out and everyone's like, oh yeah, this guy's cool. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, yeah, he's the last pick in every single... But yeah, I am hoping to see kind of like the development of what that's going to look like. Obviously, I'm still a Sky baby. I'm getting older. I say as I'm 20, but still.
My age, my mortality, it's coming out as you're talking right now, Gompers. Oh my goodness.
I didn't mean to ego you like that. Sorry, it just came out.
That's fine. We're starting things off on the right foot, huh?
Back to cast with Mark. Let's go. No, I just make him feel old. That's okay.
Yeah. No big deal at all, I think.
You look 15.
Wow.
If that makes you feel any better.
I'm going to have to politely decline that one. How's that for an adult response to exactly what you had just said to me? Oh, man. But
okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry. But back to the game. Of course, finally, I'm sorry. I know you guys are waiting for it, but we actually do have our agent select prepped up and ready for you guys to see. So again, we're back onto Lotus. Shopify versus Let Us Cook. What are we cooking?
Yeah, let's take a look at these rosters. And now I'm not saying that I called it, but I am saying that, you know, history kind of is showing you what's up here. Let Us Cook once again coming in with that double duelist composition. We're going to be seeing Jet and Raze, of course, and a Gecko coming in this time. So that is kind of your new initiator, especially too after some of those nerfs. And Shopify Rebellion, I mean, you know, double controller better right now. Having that Viper, setting up those walls, make sure that the conditioning is going to be available, and then allowing Mel playing that Omen to be able to set up the smokes wherever you really want to go. This is pretty typical stuff that we can kind of see coming from both these individual squads.
Yeah, for this too, again, like we talked about before, attacking, starting on for Shopify Rebellion, and again, we do have that Raze being played by none other than... You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Sorry. All right, none other than, of course, Rukia, which I do believe is Floor. I'm not sure. They like to change their name from time to time, but
yeah,
have to get confirmation on that.
Cool. Right off the back, Noya is able to find Cameron, and Dizzy going to be flying up here, but the engagement underway.
Yeah, already shots being fired. Now moving towards the A site with tons of control being lost. Good on the side of Let Us Cook to be able to gain that control, but now keeping their composure down on the A site.
Yeah, they're going to be able to activate this one, but I'm almost wondering whether or not you try and put a little bit more pressure onto B. Using the Prowler first to scout out the back of the site. Now they're moving in.
Alrighty, Alexis going in for the kill. Shopify Rebellion taking, I mean, that gain of power back popping, though, having some trouble here. One-way smoke to pretty much give them the round win.
Yeah, it's just so tough for Let Us Cook to try and just stabilize off of that one. It was a little bit of a gambit coming out of that C side, but immediately, I mean, if you just took a look at the minimap, you could see Shopify Rebellion were grounds away onto A. And as a result, you know, once they kind of get themselves set up, sure, you know, even out trade there, so the numbers were about the same, but they're able to just overwhelm the site given the fact that they had that numbers advantage specifically onto A. And so just a very good pistol round kind of coming out from them. And wow, we're seeing a lot of Bulldogs come in onto the second one, and a little bit of an outlaw for Noya.
Already getting prepped up, though, is Alexis here. See what sort of information they can gather to push themselves up.
Okay, I like this. A little bit more of aggression here, but it's going to be a okay, Noya. It's able to find two there, and it's a little bit of pressure, but Poppin's able to find one.
Yeah, that contest getting taken down in seconds, what it feels like.
And now it's just a little bit slow here for Shopify Rebellion. I kind of like this, you know, didn't quite go like they wanted. They did lose two of their members right off the bat, and Let Us Cook, if they're able to at least take one more member down, and that'll make sure that this was an economical win for their squad.
Yeah, Shopify in probably the best spot they can be right now. You know, with their gun advantages here, Poppin just trying to get a sneaky shot by. See if Rukia's gonna, or my apologies, Floor. Gonna just move themselves along into the crossfire. Jump shot maybe there. Ooh. First one off of Poppin, right click. Now leaving it up to this 1v3. Something we weren't expecting. But again, now Noya has to take that control back.
The fact that Poppin just hung out there, completely went unscouted, and now everything is just falling apart. Noya in this 1v3 situation, gonna attempt to be able to pick up the spike, will be able to do just that. Still has the outlaw, but a lot of pressure coming in from Poppin.
Yeah, luckily being able to use the outlaw here. So it's a one-tap body shot. Poppin is quite literally popping off. The dry peak's going crazy.
And just, I feel like that has to be a symptom of just that early pressure that we saw Let Us Cook apply onto Shopify Rebellion out there, pushing out onto just out front a bit and almost just contesting that whole thing. And then, of course, Poppin completely just went unchecked. You could tell that Shopify probably thought that the entire site was going to be open, but they were sorely mistaken. A classic makes it hurt so much. And that is an excellent thrifty round coming in from Let Us Cook.
Yeah, looking to move up, though. Once again, I do really like the way they take control of the situation. Right here already, Paint Shell's still there. So Poppin has an opportunity, if not to push these players back on Shopify. They've won the last round. They're at an advantage here. Wide swing forward. And everybody taken down in seconds.
And Spike down as well. Noya back here with Classic. trying to make this one work. Bancroft is pretty low, so might be able to at least get one here, but nope, not going to be the case. Poppin finishes that one off, and well, like I said, it's that early pressure that we're seeing from Lettuce Cook. They're not afraid to move out there, take over all of that space, and you can tell that Shopify, they're just a little bit uncomfortable. They need a little bit more personal space if they want to be able to set up their strategies, and yet they're not even given that opportunity. Such a fast push, all the utility being gammeted right off the bat for Lettuce Cook. And now Shopify, they're going to have an opportunity to start to pull this one back. Show us the squad that we're expecting here, as they will have all of their rifles. More or less all utility taken as well. But Lettuce Cook going to be going for a swing right off the bat.
Yeah, luckily they have the weapons to fight now at this point in time. So if they do want to take Lettuce Cook, push them back, maybe try for something new, they can.
And honestly, excellent early pressure there from Shopify Rebellion. Use that utility to push them back. And now the engagement underway. An excellent shot.
Yeah, Cameron trying to move themselves out of this position, but gets tethered instead. That's going to be huge damage. They can run away with that one. Shopify Rebellion unbeatable once the weapons are in hand. Now smoke's coming in. That double controller working so well and getting them so much space.
Oh, jeez. Spike is going to be able to go down here. Bancroft not able to secure that kill. It's going to be a 2v4 situation here, but at least Lettuce Cook, they have rescued those rifles. Let's see how they play this.
They've actually taken down the 2, so now Noya and Sarah having to hold down the 4. 2 mollies left in hand. Could shut off one of the angles if needed be, but there goes Poppin with a beautiful 2K.
What? Poppin and Bancroft, first of all, those first 2 picks to be able to reopen that site up were basically just spammed through little obstacles there. I thought Ascent was supposed to be the cardboard map, but apparently not. It's Lotus Seaside. They're able to find 2 kills right off the bat there, and then, well, it all just falls apart. It was such an excellent take by Shopify as well, though. I have to commend them on that. I mean, you know, we talk about the dry swing, and Illinois looked pretty darn good doing so, but Poppin having that showstopper so early on into this matchup, that just allows that to completely work out. And, well, Lettuce Cook, I mean, okay, you know what? I was expecting them to get cooked, but they're looking really darn good so far.
I was expecting them to get cooked. I love that so much. Hey, they did say Lettuce Cook, and I think that's respectfully what we're going to have to do. It's looking good so far, knowing the timing of when to use those ultimates, and now as well, knowing when to push back, which honestly might be the best bet here. Knowing Floor might push this down.
Yeah, I mean, Floor now has that showstopper. Noya also has the lockdown available to go, but Bancroft does have at least that Gecko ultimate online as well. Could be good for a retake here, or just to use aggressively, because it seems like aggression has been the name of the game for Lettuce Cook.
And I think it's been working too. Shopify not knowing what to do with that information either. More so losing out on the gunfights as well. This is going to be great. The ultimate being pushed down by Bancroft. Trying not to peek the angle too risky here. Poppin with one to take back into everybody down on doorway. Getting taken down. Another one from Poppin. And a nice round win.
Oh, I mean, Shopify too. They were all grouped up there. They used that showstopper. They tried to apply more pressure, but it was just a crossfire angle being set up by Lettuce Cook just out front of that little door there. And it all just kind of fell apart. I mean, it was just such an easy spray through. It was so chaotic, but the amount of space that they're able to take onto that A site just allows for these situations to be set up. I mean, they couldn't even leave out and try anything because they were just walking out into different bullets being sprayed over from different directions. And Lettuce Cook, they're securing their lead right now. It's now 4-1. And to Shopify, they will have rifles, but things are not looking that solid. It's a little dicey if I'm being honest.
Yeah, unfortunately funneling through that too for Shopify, so it was like a frenzy there for Poppin to take in. Oh no. Cameron. Feeling lucky with the shots there. And that's where patience really starts to, bring that advantage to you.
And look at this, Shopify. I mean, they're still in spawn. At least they still have that wall to be able to set up. They do lose Mel, so that's going to be those Omen smokes down. And maybe this means that Shopify are a little bit more confident in trying to take A, because at least they will have that Viper wall ready to go. Bancroft tosses up the Dizzy. Doesn't find any targets, but Shopify are starting to make their move.
Yeah, but that's such huge information. 50 seconds left. Everybody's standing around, and now Ultimate's being brought about. And you could lead into a fast rotation here. Yep, seems like everybody's going to do so. Lettuce Cook finally trying to assist.
All right, it's going to be this 5v4 situation here. Top of that too. Thankfully, Noya does have that lockdown to buy just a little bit more time, but Let Us Cook. They don't have a ton of utility. Thankfully, Poppin still has all of that raise utility to clear out some of those pesky corners, but this is going to be a fast and wild retake.
I think this might be good, though. Bankrupt can still use some of what they have to clear some angles here. Maybe gain some space, gain some ground. Let Us Cook now. They downtrod their way in, slowly but surely down in tree. So much information given away, and already the first being taken down. They need to bring themselves into a position where they could get that defusal, but luckily enough, the Gecko working out beautifully. And the defusal's still there, but it seems like time is up. Shopify Rebellion keeping themselves in the game.
Oh man, but that was close. I mean, down to a 1v1 there. On top of that too, I mean, obviously we love a little wingman defuse, but that's one of the benefits of bringing in a Gecko now. You can allow for that defuse or that plant without really having to sacrifice someone just hanging out on top of the spike. They can continue to watch those angles. And this is something I'm noticing about Shopify's game, or play style, I should say, is that they always like grouping up there. And so that's why we get those moments where, you know, that crossfire happens and then they get sprayed down. But at the same time, that means that generally speaking, they can kind of outmuscle their opponents on one of these retakes. As long as they trickle in one by one, they'll have the numbers advantage. And it hasn't been working out great, but we're finally seeing an example of it working.
Oof. This is where now you can see Shopify kind of getting used to what Let Us Cook like to do, push out and give those early peaks and early engagements.
And that's just a smart play coming in from Shopify. Now that they get that round, they can take that momentum, you know, hang back a little bit, let them push out, let them use their utility, and get those very early picks. And that way you've just got the advantage to overwhelm once again with numbers, but also too makes that retake a little bit more difficult for Let Us Cook. You're gonna have to deal with Cairo onto the site, but well, Prowler and Smoke's coming in, they're engaging.
Yeah, aggression is the name of the game. They've already taken out two, so they know that maybe the C site is a bit more clearer than last time. Hiding within the smoke, though, that's not going to look too good there from Jangler.
Backing off and respecting it. Poppin will be spotted out here, but it's just a 2v5 scenario here, and so I think that Let Us Cook, they know that it's probably not going to be very likely, and you see them back off now, and I think this is the right move. Their economy isn't in, like, the best position, and so just let them have that round. Don't give up any more ultimate orbs, because Shopify extremely good at playing with those ultimates. And yeah, Let Us Cook, they just completely back off and disengage.
Yeah, not even trying to eliminate anyone on the side of Shopify, knowing their economy is low, which is surprising, but
gun here.
Still not wanting to pick any fights like you said before. I mean, again, good shots on Shopify. It really does feel like they are starting to get used to what Let Us Cook are trying to do here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, especially too when it comes to these like Valorant games, right? Like early maps, that's when the teams are starting to get a feel for each other's play styles. And to be fair, even if you do watch some of the matches from Shopify before, it does take them a little bit to get going, but it feels like they're playing nice and confidently now moving into this one. Sorry, take a look at that. Poppin has 15 kills. That is crazy. Cameron next up on the squad with only 4. Poppin has been very single-handedly winning the rounds for Let Us Cook. Obviously, the utility support has been kind of nice here, but Shopify Rebellion, if they can just kind of shut that raise down, that really will make things more difficult for Let Us Cook.
Yeah, let's not forget, though, Cameron's still having the op. This time not pushing out. You can see Shopify expecting that to be the case.
And this is interesting now because, you know, we talked about that Viper wall earlier on being set up as like a conditioning wall. And now that Let Us Cook are not pushing out as often, that really allows for that Viper's wall to now do that conditioning because Let Us Cook has not gotten any information out of it. All they might see is that Viper wall going up and down, and they can't really get a read onto it. They're completely locked down into the sites, which is going to allow Shopify Rebellion to kind of press up in different angles and, you know, play the pace of the game however they like.
Yeah, luckily enough too, Sarah does have the ultimate, so getting themselves down onto the site could give them a huge advantage starting off in the attack just to play down to that post plant.
Welcome to my
Yep, pushing that down.
And that's smart too. That's going to basically take that op offline. I can't do much into there. And yeah, Cameron already going down. So this is going to be tough for Let Us Cook.
This is where the difficulty lies, though. Now information given away and still spraying it down just based off the noise alone. It's Mel left down inside of the smoke by themselves, having to somehow just run away from the classic shots like that one. Let us cook some...
What?
Just somehow running away with shots like these, and it's immaculate.
Oh my god, I mean, okay, listen. I've got like, before my one rule in Valorant was always make sure to check your corners. Still a pretty good rule, right, Gophers? Like, I think we can all agree that's a good rule. But the more Valorant I watch lately, the more I'm just convinced that it's actually spray through your smokes. Hey, Viper Spit, spray through that as well. So many kills that round from Let Us Cook were just completely like, just, all right, I'm gonna spray into the smoke. We kind of know they're probably hanging out here. And the kills were achieved right off the bat. And just a couple of unlucky timings coming in from Shopify Rebellion almost made that Viper Spit completely mute. Despite the fact that that is such a powerful ultimate, especially after they're able to seize the site so quick, Let Us Cook just completely dismantled it within a matter of seconds. It's honestly, it kind of feels bad for Shopify.
Cameras just fighting for their lives to get just one off of Shopify, but now Mel can't even seem to get the TP through. Regardless, actually just looking for information more so, but so much Killjoy util here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though. I think that Shopify should be well equipped to be able to at least get this down. And yeah, Sarah, now going for the plant here. It's going to be a lockdown from the other side to try and counter.
Yeah, not a lot of space being taken up though. But I do like this. Actually popping through with that alone, putting the showstopper to work there. He's down through the smoke. Mel sticking silent, but taking shot after shot, and a beautiful one from Flowerful. Unfortunately, not being able to actually clutch up the round, but it was close enough.
Man, Mel almost brought Shopify back into that one. Just the sneaky play, teleport onto the other side, able to find a couple of kills right off the bat, and then the rest of the Shopify just flood through. The Showstopper's at least able to take out one, but it's not enough to clear out the site. So Floor can't secure the win there as Let Us Cook. They've now find themselves onto 6 rounds, and we are going to be seeing a timeout being called right now. And man, I gotta say, Poppin's movement on this raise has been phenomenal. It feels like every single time there's like an opportunity, Poppin is going in and finding kills.
That's the thing about it, too. It's not really even just the util usage, in my opinion. Yeah, the showstoppers have been phenomenal. I will have to give it to you. I think they do know how to use it in the perfect moments where, okay, things are really dire. They don't have the win condition. Okay, let's force that through. Let's have Poppin pop that out. But I think overall, it really is also just the gameplay in general. They've been winning every single duel that they take, taking away maybe 2 or even more. So it really is just Poppin putting in a ton of that work as the duelist to create that space down on the defense to get those retakes down.
And you know what? Okay, we're highlighting Poppin a lot, right? Obviously, it's been very flashy plays, easy to highlight as well. But on top of that, too, like I really have to shout out Jangler as well, because I think that a lot of this Astra utility being placed around the map, kind of zoning things out, setting up some of these smokes, has been so instrumental in just kind of throwing wrenches into Shopify Rebellion's plans. You can tell they're like, all right, this is our time, we're ready to go. And then, oh, Gravity Well. Okay, well, we're going to wait this one out. And then that allows Poppin to get into position and get set up nicely. Honestly, you need a strong Astra. And also, too, a good offer, which Cameron has been doing a decent job thus far. And Let Us Cook, like, it just feels like they're firing on all cylinders right now.
And that's what sucks. They tried so hard, actually, to push back the op. You saw the mollies moving through, but unfortunately, it just wasn't within the radius as to where Cameron was. I mean, gun advantage really isn't there for Shopify either. Economy so low, just constantly losing these rounds, and might actually having to give another one away as well.
Yeah, and look, see, this is what I'm talking about. Sure, conditioning Viper Wall doesn't really matter as much if the defenders take all of this space onto A. As soon as that wall goes down, they're going to have to try and contend with multiple. And it feels like that they are a little bit aware of this, but are they going to be ready? Jangler able to get 1, get 2, and Poppin cleans that one up, Gompers. It's just so good right now from Let Us Cook.
Yeah, they put that flawless in their pockets there. Not letting anyone getting taken out. Noya close to pushing through with that lockdown. So there is a lot of potential here for Shopify.
Watch the replay here. Cameron, this is what we kind of need to see on this jet operator. I mean, Poppin kind of moving out there, taking the space, but having Cameron with that operator just kind of anchor things down, you know, use that jet utility to be able to apply pressure without really doing too much is also very important. And now that they've been able to catch a couple of kills, Shopify know that they have to fear the operator. So there's just so much pressure being applied in multiple directions onto this Rebellion squad.
Oh, Cameron's ready though. This is so dangerous. Regardless, Mel knows. Okay, big brain there from Mel.
Here.
Leading into, of course, Mel being the IGL, but still slowing themselves backwards there. Yeah, having a good understanding as to when to take themselves out of the equation.
Ooh, I think that got value. Sarah able to find one here, but Shopify have already taken the site.
Yeah, smoking things off. Mel's just trying to at least eliminate any sense of danger as they get that spike planted. Unfortunately, at least for Let Us Cook, they don't know where Noya is, so now they're gonna have to try to, gain some ground that way. Mel's still sitting up above and finding another there from Shopify. Flawless round just to take things back, but this is the last one of the half.
Last round in the half.
Yeah, and you know what, to be fair, things were looking a little bit rocky here for Shopify, but I mean, the way that they set up onto that post plant, on top of that too, making sure that Noya, you get the killjoys getting the flank, all of that type of stuff, it just allowed for it to happen. I think that the weakness right now is kind of making their way onto site. Shopify have been losing quite a few agents, just kind of, all right, now let's go over here. And then it's like, uh-oh, we've lost a couple of people. And then as a result, it feels like their strategy starts to crumble a little bit. When they keep everyone else alive, they're able to play a little bit more cohesively together. And then that's where kind of that practice comes into play. And so let's hope that they can keep on being a little bit more cautious, not giving those opportunities to keep everyone alive. I mean, they like playing grouped up, and there's a reason for it.
Yeah, they're taking their precautions with them. They want this round.
Shadows traveling.
From Shopify, I think the biggest issue is knowing that Cameron does have that op, and what can they do about it? Oh, still stuck up above, getting a taste of reality.
Yeah, now like Shopify, do you push into this? Makes it a little bit more difficult. The smoke dissipates. Thank you for that new visual cue, but at least they do have yet another one here. Noya going to be using the lockdown, but I wonder if this might be a little bit of a fake, potentially.
I think there still is some space there for Cameron to, again, to find some sort of shot. Nope, they get locked down instead, but they should know by now. The op is gone. There is no danger left on the site, as well as that lockdown clearing things out pretty nice and easy for them, so they're giving themselves some space there.
Now I'm curious to see how Let Us Cook are going to be playing this retake here. Already we're seeing them set up onto these 3 different entry points here. As Shopify, they just push through.
Better you're trying to push that off. Just to push it backwards. Damage being made on the side of Shopify Rebellion, trying to find even more, but the corner's being cleared. And they know, Let Us Cook just know where this team is. 1v2 and up now. Proven to be a problem for Shopify.
Oh my goodness me. I thought that Shopify had it, but it just feels so cohesive when Let Us Cook are playing that retake there. And just like that, Let Us Cook, they're now at 8-4 here on our first half. Now they finally will be switching sides. I do think that Lotus tends to be a little bit more of a defender-sided map here.
Yeah.
But with how well Poppin has been playing this matchup, I'm not too sure that that is going to be the case. That Raze likes to take a lot of room, is able to secure so many kills, and it feels like the rest of the squad are doing such a great job at being able to support that Raze play on the defense. Now that they're going to be on the offense, one would assume that we're only going to see that just taking up a couple levels as well when they get those site executes underway, Gobblers.
Yeah, Shopify having a restart though. I think tier 2 with Poppin, as they've done so good on the defense. What's it going to look like on the attack too, right? I think Cameron actually too, I got to give credit to them. I think they did a big part of scaring Shopify Rebellion into that consistency to feel like they need that first engagement. They need to find as to where Cameron's hiding.
Yeah, we talk about like the mind games, but the intimidation factor, that's absolutely massive.
Yeah.
Just always having to worry about someone pushing out or anything like that, and knowing that, in just a second, if you're not careful, you could just go down that easily. That's a lot of pressure onto Shopify, but, well, no operators on round number 1. Cameron actually taking the lead this time around, as it looks like they're ready for C.
A nice decay, though. Sarah could actually play with this pretty nice and easy. Some vulnerability thrown into the mix as well, but still not even able to find the shot. So Lexus moving forward as fast as they can. Let's not forget Poppin's ability to take that classic in. And this round is important.
Oh,
If Let Us Cook run away with this one, they find themselves even further into the lead. Shopify Rebellion know this. They need something big. Smoke down to 2 seconds from Mel. Actually create some coverage there for them under the circumstance. They want something from it. Right click all you need right there, but the timing is beautiful.
and just like that, Shopify, they pick up the pistol yet again. And you know what, honestly, like, just down to the wire there, not giving any of those opportunities to Let Us Cook. That was just an excellent, 2v2 play there. You could tell that Let Us Cook, they kind of separated a little bit, allowed for that 2v1 to kind of occur, and Shopify more than happy to kind of take off onto it. Let's see, though, if history's going to repeat itself. Let Us Cook are going to be buying up a bunch of stingers onto this one. And so it's like we're going back to the Wild Wild West and just going to kind of swing it down and see what happens, I assume. But it's going to be kind of tough here. I feel like the long-range battle is just going to go to Shopify because they have the weaponry for it. But I don't know. Let Us Cook. They've been playing with unprecedented speed thus far.
I think it's the confidence and the ability to know, hey, we can do this, which I've seen from them. Despite losing to Shopify a couple times, they still do this. Right, same pacing, same speed. Even right there, not afraid to continue peaking as to maybe they should be. Because it really didn't work out in the end. But again, that's part of knowing when to stop and condition yourselves.
Yeah, and at this point too, like, you can kind of tell Shopify, I mean, they go for that A side push, or sorry, the C side push, and then they just kind of let the rest of their members hang out onto the individual sites and try and pick up those pieces of information. But given the fact that the spike is down, they did invest up into this round. Let Us Cook not in the best position, and now Noya gets that information, is going to be backing off, just kind of has to stay alive here. As Let Us Cook, they're going to try and maximize their economy as much as possible, including at least scooping up one of those ultimate orbs and maybe finding another kill if they can kind of track it down.
One enemy remaining.
Round win from Shopify, having the spike and all. Now Noya's just playing a game of detective here.
30 seconds left.
Either way, finding themselves in a pretty good spot. The Spectre being kept from Jangler. They know their economy's not going to be looking too good after this one. They were hoping, if anything, for Let Us Cook that they would take this round in, but...
I mean, listen, we're far away from the Stinger meta when that thing was totally broken, and now it's just like, I mean, if you're in close range combat, it's great, but regardless, beyond that, it runs out of bullets way too fast, if you ask me, which is probably a good thing for how much it costs, but especially too going for that dirty seaside push out there with Stingers, you can't be expecting too much there. And Shopify, I mean, they were playing a little bit more aggressive, they were exploring it, but even if they kind of anchored things down a little bit, they probably would have been able to scoop up a couple of kills right off the bat, making things a little bit more difficult for Let Us Cook. And, well, now unfortunately, you reap what you sow. Let Us Cook on a complete save here where Shopify will be able to bonus things. Now only 2 rounds separating these teams.
Cover going out.
And creating coverage. Nice one-way from Mel. Waiting to see if anyone's going to push through that. They know in prior instances Let Us Cook did. I think they learned their lesson here.
Yeah, no super aggro push right off the bat.
Yeah.
This is a defense. That's not going to work this time. Which is kind of funny when you think about it like that. But now they are going to be going over to the C side. And honestly, Let Us Cook, they never really had their Killjoy on C that often. But Shopify Rebellion kind of fitting the mold a little bit more. You expect KJ to be here. And so now you should expect a lot of swarm grenades to go on here. And a little bit of utility being tossed out at least to kind of clear some of those up. But a judge in the hands of Noya could spell disaster if they decide to push through all that utility.
Yeah, just playing a game of cat and mouse, running back and forth to see if they can bait any sort of rotation over towards the C side with 30 seconds left. Keeping it down to it, Mel. Left alone, trying to pick off these players one by one, but a nice shot from Poppin.
Yeah, and Mel too at least got that information there. Wingman is going to go in for the plant. Cameron not able to secure the kill, as we are going to be seeing Floor just kind of run things down, and it's going to be messy.
Yeah, tagged for 101 though. At least on their side. Floor still trying to fight for it with 49 health left. Not a lot of time here. So having so much util on the spike as well. So if they don't push this, I mean, they may as well just say their goodbyes here for the round for Shopify. There comes another trying to create that damage, but Refusal not even in check at this moment. Yep, 1v1, one out by Let Us Cook.
Yikes. And I do think that it was just that one initial pick that Poppin's able to find. I mean, Poppin has just been so good lately. Takes down Mel, and then they just kind of flood in onto the site. Shopify found themselves into a little bit of a predicament there. They knew that they had to try and push out there, had to shut down some of these defenses, given, like you said, all that utility that was going to be available to Let Us Cook on that post plant. But they just fall a little bit short. And now Let Us Cook, they're going to be the ones with the weapons in their hands while Shopify Rebellion find themselves onto a little bit of a save. They're going to be seeing Sarah come in with that Guardian. But already Poppin just kind of going in right off the bat.
And playing Ring Around the Rosie. Everybody's moving down towards behind. Shopify Rebellion, they see that, and they know they need to move quicker, leaving Noya by themselves somehow, surprisingly. So much damage.
Oh man, for a second there I was like, no way that this happens, but Noya not able to secure the kill, does do a lot of damage like you said. Cosmic Divide does an excellent job at kind of scoring things out, but look at that, Shopify ready to engage pretty quick.
Yeah, using some of that util to see if it's safe enough. Push some ground, some of that util coming out as well from Sarah. And having the smoke high above. Shopify Rebellion doing great with the shots now. And somehow finding that space. Bancroft left alone, sitting down towards backside. Molly and everything being put into that.
I like that. That is so much respect coming in from Shopify there. You know, obviously we joked about the fact that Bancroft is talking about the dry peaks all the time there, but just use your utility. And Shopify are a very utility first team to be able to do that. They're able to just overwhelm Let Us Cook with the amount of stuff that's kind of coming out there. Whether or not it's the TP, whether or not it's the smokes, whether or not it's the flashes or the nades, it's just overwhelming utility that just allows Shopify to be able to open that one up. And Let Us Cook, I mean, we talked about it earlier. They kind of have been on the receiving end of winning out these gunfights. But when you just got a bunch of stuff flying into your face, it's a lot harder to land your shots. And that is where Shopify might continue to shine here. A little bit of a weird buy coming in, but once again, Mel, right off the bat, goes for the peak, but Cameron's able to find that just with that Marshall.
That's got to be a dirty one, too. Man, so early on, Mel gets taken down.
Cameron looking for more, but you know, I talk about that Killjoy setup onto C. Turns out Shopify, they're actually turning it around onto this A side, and Let Us Cook, they might be putting pressure onto B here, moving in. See how Larson can respond.
Yeah, just trying to find one. Seeing if the Pain Shell can actually put in the work as well. In regards to that damage, we've seen the Showstopper, and they always manage to get another one as well from Poppin on their side. So far, this first game's looking spectacular for Let Us Cook. They just, I mean, run away with shot after shot, despite the fact that this should not have been around. They could pull through with. Another one bites the dust. Noya. Killjoy v Killjoy.
And Spike's down as well onto this A side. The only disadvantage here is that Noya is only at 49 HP. Might have to reload as left. Well. 10 bullets left. Kairos slowly making their way up here, Gomps.
Okay, what is Noya to do here? You have at least watching both sides and angles, yeah. Location given away, they're still going to be watching. Moving themselves all the way around. 7 seconds left on the clock, but the play is not done. Nice clutch from Noya.
It's always the second. The first one in those tense situations is always going to be a fake. And the second one, you know that's actually when they stick the plant there. But that round was just chaos, for lack of better terms. I mean, we were seeing flanks being set up, off angles kind of going in down to there. And it's just like blow for blow, both these teams kind of going up against each other until we get down to those 1v1 situations. And when you look at the overall trajectory of this map, it's been these very chaotic fights where it does feel like Let Us Cook are able to come out on top. But Shopify Rebellion, I mean, we talk about practice. They try to make it work, and a lot of utility expended right off the bat.
An explosion of everything. All right, we're being able to see the boom bot sort of gaining some ground there. No, everybody else backing themselves away. 2 players lost on the attacking side. Having to figure out a way to get themselves back onto that B site. Noya knowing and coming up right behind Shopify.
That was good. That was a very good round for Shopify there. I mean, Mel has been doing an excellent job as well at just applying a lot of pressure, making sure that even though there's not necessarily the numbers, the fact that that Omen can kind of slip away with the Shadow Step, Let Us Cook not as confident to be able to push things in there. And that enables the rest of the team to be able to kind of get those tricky angles on that defense where they can just walk out there. And Let Us Cook, they just weren't looking the right way. They thought that everyone surely must have rotated over to A with the amount of chaos that had gone on there. And we see that Cairo even invests the lockdown there and doesn't get much. But Let Us Cook, they got Stingers in hand again, going for a B side attack this time around. And Shopify, they've got more than that they need. Sarah spots them all out.
So he's trying to put the snake bite down to push them back. They take to that revolving door to try to move on about Bancroft. Ultimate wasted. Completely gone out of the mix. At the same time, gaining a lot of ground down towards the C side. Everybody alive and so much util their marks.
Yeah, you say wasted, but at the same time, Gecko can pick that bad boy back up, so Thrash could be activated again soon. And just like this is an interesting combo that we're seeing here. A Viper's Pit with the lockdown inside of it, making it so difficult, but now Thrash can come back out.
I think here Shopify know there is a possibility. Things might not go too good there. Cairo finally finding one. And luckily enough, actually being put down on that lockdown. Noya picking them off one by one.
One enemy remaining.
And down towards the extremities, the far backside, having to fight this off of Mel. And I know where Cameron is as well, so yeah, this may as well just be that next round win. And they went from losing to now picking themselves back up in the lead for Shopify.
Yeah, I mean, defense has been looking really good for Shopify there. I'm sorry, I still have to comment on that combo of ultimates because I've never seen it kind of being done like that, but it's just so smart because you expect like, you know, oh, Viper's Pit, okay, cool, whatever. And then you expect the lockdown to be used differently, but when put together, that is so hard to kind of thwart because then you have to go into the Viper's Pit where you don't know where everyone is. It almost guarantees that the lockdown radius is going to be more or less locked down if you don't have any explosives to kind of deal with that ultimate. So excellent just kind of microplay there by Shopify, really securing that round. And well, this time, Let Us Cook, they will have rifles yet again, and they are going to set up for a dirty B push here. Let's see how Shopify are ready for this one. And okay, it's going to be a trade.
Yeah, keeping things up. It's still Noya.
What?
Finding another one through smoke. I don't know how Noya's running away with stuff like this, but I guess it all works out in the end. 10-9. Let's not forget Shopify feeling so good about the victory they faced before. Now vulnerability being put down, and Sarah is like picking up the pace with the Odin.
We love Odin gaming in this house. Now, Cairo, in this 1v4 scenario here, I really want to highlight Noya right now for Shopify Rebellion. You know, the Killjoy has been doing an excellent job at picking up that utility, or sorry, picking up those kills. And also, too, using the utility to get that information to translate it over to the rest of the team. And it just feels like, you know, Let Us Cook, they're not ready for Noya on this defense. Noya has been doing an excellent job at making sure that Shopify win the rounds that they've been looking at. And look at that, Noya has now overtaken Poppin with the number of kills.
I mean, Noya was popping off there. I think the Killjoy's working out pretty fairly there. You can see the comfort on the defense a little bit more for Shopify too. They're not very avid, you know, attacking players on a map like this one. I think they do a lot better just waiting and watching, as we can see there from Mel.
You know, that's got to feel good for Mel. After all those times, Cameron just gets that pick right off the bat. Mel's ready for it that time around and takes Cameron out. The operator could be recovered, but I'm going to be honest, for Let Us Cook, I think you just kind of leave it there because the rifles have been working out very well for them thus far. And now Shopify Rebellion, I mean, they're making a statement that, hey, we're going to be holding down every single angle. You have to come into us.
Oh, Mel. I was waiting. I thought they were going to peek this. They know Mel is here. Like, if they want it, they want the smoke. Like, literally, quite literally, because Mel is smoke. Okay, anyways, I'm going to stop talking, but...
all I'm saying is, Bancroft, why didn't you dry peek that, man? You know, we were expecting that. Mel was ready for it. You kind of let him know on Twitter, but not going to be the case this time around. And once again, look at the Killjoy utility being set up here. Sure, there is only a Viper here, but this is going to give everything away. Noise utility lets them know what's happening.
Sarah. Oh my gosh. I was hoping for a spray down there because that would have been beautiful, but Already looking for the showstopper. Floor! How does Floor just get away with another one? Just like that one. Oh my gosh, Pain Cell pushed out. Alexis just running it by. They don't care about the util. They're like, hey, we got the lead. We can pretty much just run away with it now.
All right, I think it's fair to say that the nerves have been shaken off at this point for Shopify.
Oh yeah.
They were looking a little bit shaky when this map started off here, but now like they are in their stride. They are so confident. If they tried this stuff earlier in the map, I mean, quite frankly, Let Us Cook were the ones who were able to just win out those gunfights. But now it feels like Shopify, instead of just kind of playing this rigid playstyle, okay, exec this way, and yes, follow command chain order, it feels like they're having more fun with it. It's a little bit more dynamic, and as a result, they're finding all of these good opportunities onto Let Us Cook. And now Let Us Cook, they're facing potentially losing their first map.
Yeah, they've taken an off shot. They missed out on it, though. Alexis still having a Prowler to utilize in this moment, maybe push back this team, but Shopify Rebellion feeling comfortable now with Floor on the op.
A lot of ground is at least taken for Let Us Cook, as they're also moving the door around to give a little bit of that info, but Shopify Rebellion, they're not fully committing to this A-side defense, allowing for potentially a flank to be set up here. They just have to be careful because Cairo is in a weird little angle just outside of B.
I like that, though. Floor's just picking off popping. Using some of those blast packs as well to kind of offset the player and the aim. There's another one. Just running away with the collateral is crazy. And an ace to end off the round. The 13-9 from Shopify Rebellion. After that one, you gotta feel a certain type of way. Floor is just quite literally flooring it. I don't know what to say.
I was about to say,
that was crazy.
Are you sure that's the one that you want to end on for map number one?
And that, okay, better yet, see, the thing is that was Let Us Cook's map pick too, right?
Yes,
so we're
yes.
kind of looking at that evidence and the facts right now. Shopify Rebellion running away with that map. Honestly, shouldn't happen overall. They had a pretty good lead on him in the beginning half. I really do think it was just the defense that took them by storm there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously on that attack, the defense for Let Us Cook, we were highlighting Poppin a lot. I mean, Poppin, Raze, oh my goodness, all these crazy plays and stuff like that. But once again, there's a reason why we talked about Floor in that intro there. It almost felt like they had like completely shifted roles. Floor wasn't able to find as much value as you would have expected in that first half, but then completely just popped off on the second half, pun intended. And as a result, that ace, very clean way to just end things out here. And more importantly, like you said, that was Let Us Cook's map pick, and well, Shopify, you ended on an ace. I mean, you got to be feeling nice going into this next map.
Oh, you absolutely do. But the next map is something that we're going to have to wait on. Of course, we will be back with more Knights Arena, VALORANT North America Challengers. Why did I say the whole thing? But we are going to be back with some Challengers right after this quick break.
They say in life, there are no guarantees. They say a lot of stuff like that. Slow it down. Play it safe. Hedge your bets. So what? You gonna listen to that? You gonna stop because they can't guarantee you'll pull this off? No guarantee you'll win? No guarantee everything's gonna be fine? In life, you make your own guarantees. Nobody else will light your way. Start your own fire and keep it burning. And we guarantee you'll have one hell of a lifetime.
face.